Yeah. Hello, everybody. Good evening. I hope you are all doing well. Uh, this is a room I'm doing every day to really uh, make my intention of helping people with burnout. Uh, we opened a Facebook group which is called Conquer Burnout, and we have been asking people to come into that, and then have been able to somebody in the wisdom app want to come up, but he hung up. I don't know. Okay, so this Facebook group is something that I've been posting and inviting people. So I'm going to fetch that link and place it, pin it here, so that people can the Cruish. 1 second, I'm getting it. Okay, got the link. I'm going to pin it. Then we'll go ahead. Okay, there it is. So this is a group. I will be coming more live, and I have been posting what is relevant to that. Also, some of the things people are asking about. Many of my friends are interested, and we'll be doing some live meets there, and we'll be sharing some things. So today is Saturday, so I usually do 6 to 7 here, and then we'll move to the other house. It's called Docs and Burnout. That is at 7 o'clock. That will be on the Zoom also, apart from the clubhouse. Welcome to Fran, Lois, and Simone and Dharani. Thanks for coming up and staying here with me. I've been working on this burnout for some years because, as a doctor, I had to help my colleagues because I had a lifestyle where I was not burned out because probably because I was working out and doing the yoga and all that, right? So I was uh, regularly helping people to learn yoga, like what I do. I was sharing with them, but I kind of went a little bit deeper because I was naturally interested in that. I wanted to find out how is it that we are able to have so much of anxiety, but the ancients did not have? That's how it all started. 1985. I still remember. I was in a bookshop and I saw this B.K.S. Iyengar's uh, life with yoga, something like that. Light on yoga. I'm sorry, Light on Yoga. It's a very small book, spiral book, but he had these routines that were very easy to do. Two asanas a week he wanted to master, but then his explanation, everything was very, very clear. So I started like that. And later on, I moved into what is really yoga mean. It's not just asanas and breathing exercises, it's about mind and how we manage mind. And that has got relevance now because of the information age. We have this information overload and all that was going on with the information, attention deficit, stress, and burnout, especially in the doctors, because we have this EMR now. We're able to manage a lot of data, but still more data is coming, more information is coming. It used to be that we could go and see the patient and write some small notes in the chart, and that was okay. But now we have to do a lot more data, and that is kind of interfering with our time with the patient, and also it becoming too much for us. Okay, so I kind of understood that in 2008 when I was enrolling into biomedical informatics. Eventually, I got the master's, and my thesis was on information overload. So, publishing all that and also going into the details of it helped me a lot to understand information age. Participate, but not be drowned by it, that kind of thing. So I kind of incorporated that into my stress reduction programs and eventually burnout coaching, which I'm doing now for the physicians and nurses and all that. Okay. Hi, Tracy. Come on, come on up. So that's how my journey to the uh, yoga and also to my information age, right? And then thought and mind. So one of the things I had to really understand was what is the correct role of thought, where it is excess, where it is kind of dull, and what we can do consciously using the thought better, and not be burdened by it. That kind of was a real eye opener for me and helped me to really revive my mind with this silence, quietness, quietude, peace, and all that. I don't think we'll get that with drugs or with alcohol and all that, but we'll get that by really having some silence in our life, cultivating it, having that habit of emptying our mind, not accumulating more knowledge, but then understanding what it is to empty the mind. So great people have that silence with them, and they were always telling us about how to be silent. Hi, Kristen, come on up if you want to. So that kind of revolution, I was talking to my colleagues, to my patients, to my relatives, and to my family, and all that. They all say, "Oh, this is so difficult to do." Why So I tell them, just do 3 minutes in the morning when you get up. Just sit down and focus on your breath. And if the thoughts are going around, then come back and just be associated with that breath again. So that kind of thing. I did a small video. That video will be with my YouTube, I think. 3 minute silence or solitude of mind. That's what I said. So in this one, you will start with the alarm clock for 3 minutes. You sit down comfortably, either on the chair or on the floor, according to your comfort. Keep your spine straight. Then just close your eyes and then take deep breaths. As you take the deep breaths, be aware of it. And suppose your thoughts take you away from the breath, come back to it. Just 3 minutes. And doing that, bringing back the mind and anchoring to the breath, you learn to really control the thoughts going all over to one spot. And after a while, you can slow them down because you're taking the deep breaths and the thought will automatically will be slowed down. And as it slows down, you can see are they negative or positive. And then if they're negative, you can deliberately see something positive about that situation and bring whatever the positivity you can bring to that. Okay. And that way you converting negative to positive thoughts. This kind of control slowly evolving, especially if you do it in the morning and at the end of the day after you all work, will grow on you, will kind of build a mental muscle like. But actually you are emptying the mind better. So that is what I recommend people to have this innate power of silence within us, solitude, quietude. That's what I was always talking about. So tonight, after this hour, I'll go to that docs and burnout. Probably I'll get that video and place it there so that they can do it. There was a sentence I read this morning that kind of thought very good. I put it there as a subject. Um, those are the ones who really live, that live for others. Vivekananda said that the moment I saw that, yeah, this is the unselfish work that they are talking about, and a lot of volunteers, a lot of people who after certain money, they would like to give it back to society. They want to work unselfishly and all that. Tracy and me, we were talking about this morning. Okay. Hi, Tracy. So, what do you think about that statement? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think she has a very good experience of this because she kind of took interest in people who are taking a lot of medications and worked for them and made them come out of it, and that has become very passion for her. I know Tracy, So uh, those who live for others, that's a very good statement, I think. And that was the trait on these ancient spiritual people. They were not worried about getting some food on the table or doing all these things, and they believed that their own life don't need that many, just a little bit of fruit and vegetables or something like that. Whatever they have, they will eat, or they go and really beg. Begging for the monks is like a honorable thing. That's why they did it all the time. But so they were not worried about how we have to uh, really eat and do that, but also it's not about sustaining the life or living life or earning a livelihood. That's not their problem. The problem is, what is life? How can I understand the life? That kind of thing. So when they looked like that, they always wanted to do something for others and also for the world. Okay, so there was a famous Sanskrit saying. It says, "Atma mokshardam jagat hitaya cha." Atma mokshardam means self-realization. First, turn inward and find out your true nature. That's the purpose of human life, they said. And the second thing is, once you have done that, go and work for the welfare of the world. Jagat Hitacha means that Jagat means world, Hitacha means goodwill. So work for the goodwill of the world. You know, so that is the living for others. That is when we are living. That's what they enjoy. I mean, everybody cannot be monks. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about these lifestyles that we make, and we say we will have a lot of money, a lot of fame, and then we struggle, 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 and in the process, we are really going away from our true nature. So you can have moderation, but then you also see, am I just doing stuff in life, or am I attending to my being? And once you find that and your cup is full, then you go and work for the world. You like that, Tracy? That Sanskrit thing? Yeah. 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 That's why I'm talking about that. Yeah, because in India it used to be these extended families when I was growing up. Now the same American lifestyle has come in there, so they also have nuclear families and single families and the divorce rate. All the things that we see here are spreading all over the world. Okay, so the cultures that were there, they were swept away by the Western culture. So, but then even the Western here, I live in America. The same problems, the inner anxiety, depression, the same frustrations with relationships and not having joyful time with people, violence, all these things we are seeing, right? So, as a human beings, I don't think it's anything different anywhere, Tracy, anymore. It's all become one village, you know. So, but you know what? You could understand modern science, which is coming to the conclusion, physics especially, it is a unified field of theory. So, okay, only one energy and all. And that was also the wisdom of the ancients when they said, we are all in oneness. That is the thing. So once you realize we are all one family, not like a extended family and all that, but as a human tribe, we are all one family. I kind of really uh, see that that is the truth, and then it's not like a theory for me. I feel it also in my bones that we are all one. So once we are there, that especially our inner being level, Tracy, we are definitely one because life force or consciousness is only one, right? And we have the life that animates our body and mind. That kind of much I can see that. And also what we think we are different personalities, that may be myth too, because we fear the same way, we kind of feel sadness same way, we are happy same way. Maybe degrees and varieties are different, but then essentially human beings are emotional, human beings are intellectual, human beings are kind, compassionate, sad. All those things are there, right? So in that way, our bodies may be different with a color, shape, and all that. Our mind also, according to our thoughts, our mind will be there, right? And that will be different. But underneath the life, the conscious being, that's all one. So that's where once you realize that, you don't feel like these people are my family, rest of them are not. So you kind of reach out to everybody. So cultivate that attitude and see what happens. But we are going the opposite way. That's why I kind of try to make people be aware, what is going on, what we can do with these modern problems, with some insights of the ancients, where the society was really striving to learn about ourselves and be simple outward and very rich inside with the thoughts and all that. They didn't have these uh, uh, tensions and anxieties, but they do have the drug addiction also. I'm not talking about all the population, but I'm talking about the highest leaders and people who were really understood the life. They gave so many valuable things, but then we can just realize ourselves too. That's why I kind of look at the modern lifestyles causing so many problems. First of all, as a physician, modern lifestyles are causing the chronic diseases. Modern lifestyles are causing increase in mental health. Modern lifestyle is causing this division, this separation, wars, and all that, right? I don't feel like the geographies are real anymore because we can be on the clubhouse and we can have people here from different cultures, different countries, right? So we're all one village that way. So when I first came into the country in 1981, there was a real culture shock because India was different, here was different. But now, after I went in '93 again, after a couple of visits in between, everything changed. The moment I got there's a Bush on the TV and all the American news, all the basketball, everything is right there. So it's not like a much change. Everything is swept aside. The cultures, that kind of thing. So don't worry about the external circumstance only, but first worry about your own interior and do that. That's why they said first Atma Mokshadam. Realize who you really are by turning inside. And then once you have really stabilized there, which is very difficult, it's not that easy, but controlling the mind, understanding our conditioning, all that takes a lot of effort. But we are so busy doing things, making things, doing things all the time. And that's much more so with all these commercial interests pushing us to do that. With the technology, we want to do more and more. Okay, actually, technology should help us to do less, and so we will have, technology doing things for us. That's what is happening with artificial intelligence, right? I use it to do so many things now that is releasing me time where I can spend with my spiritual practices and all that. I told so many people I embrace AI. I'm using it in a big way. I'm writing books, I'm writing articles, I'm writing courses. A lot of things I'm doing, so that I can leave a library of things that I'm working with and that can help. I read the training coaching courses so that other people can be used. The one is last one I did, fat belly reduction challenge. I was actually talking about lifestyle change in there, so that kind of thing. I made a course and I'm going to release that webinar very shortly, So that is all I was able to do because I strive to learn the AI apps, all these prompts and mini videos and all those things are new to me, but I was able to do because of the technological advance. That's fine. But then what are you going to do with the time that you save by using this technology? Not getting addicted, not getting kind of, bad habits, but then really sitting down, calming the mind, going inward, that kind of things I encourage.
Dr. Rao, you might have to do a class on AI.
Oh, yeah, sure. Uh,
Tell us how does AI became your best friend?
Yeah, first of all, I will tell you briefly here. Uh, what it is it made me a better writer because I am very comfortable coming and speaking, right? And I also want to write most of the stuff in a short format where I'll be brief but conveying a lot of it. And that was a practice I did on the Clubhouse. Okay, in the beginning when I first came in 2.5 years ago, I was speaking for a long time, and I got irritated if somebody wants me to do in 2 minutes, or maybe later on 30 seconds or 90 seconds like that. But initially, I was a little annoyed. But after that, I thought I should be able to do this. I should be brief. Then I began to practice that, and then now I can really express some things in a very very short time. That is there, and also I use apps like a pro writing aid that looks up all my sentences and corrects the small things that we may be not doing properly. Because I'm not a typist, I'm more like a writer up on the paper, right? So when I type on that, it's like I hunt like I hunt the keys, but I still get lot of typing done. But this helps a lot, and also. Lot of speeches, lot of things I did, like even in the Otter here, I can record in the Otter, and then I can take the text, edit it, and put it in Pictory or in video, and text to video, and that's making a video, and then there is a voiceover, there's all those things. So my aim is not to present myself as much, but as much as I want to convey some message. For example, I was doing this 3 minute video for the short calming exercise, not even going into my meditation or big things like that, but just to calm yourself every day. That's a good exercise for the kids, for the students, for the IT people, for the company leaders. All these people, I kind of have patience, and I work with them, and then they ask me a lot of things related to their daily life. Right? They have to deal with a lot of information. They have to deal with a lot of distractions, all those things. Right? That's where it helps a lot. And then um, I myself I'm able to communicate better because of the AI writing and also speaking, recording videos, and also the longer videos I had, like a 1 hour, 1.5 hour, now I'm able to put them into Opus to make short films. So I have so many things like that right now. For example, research. For example, we have doctors think a lot of some research, right? Now we can do much, much faster. Sometimes it writes better than we do, okay? Because it has the access of so many years of literature at hand. So suppose I have to search, before it used to take a lot of time for us, but now anywhere in the world you can go into ChatGPT or Bird, any of those things, or Perplexity. That's what I use now. I used to use ChatGPT 4.0, but now I stopped there. I use the ChatGPT 3.5, but I am using Perplexity paid app, and that is what I like about that is it does give you all the references where it is getting the information from. ChatGPT also has this web connection now. It does, but it only does 3 articles. Whereas Perplexity goes into a lot of things, and then it is very good. And the best I like is Hey Pi. That's the one I engage in conversation, and then that is amazing because I can go pretty deep into the ancient wisdom, for example, and it does catch, it does react like a human being. So I like that too. So I'm doing. Now I'm recalling. It looks like I'm doing a lot, but I do it a lot in a very short time. That is what I want people to. So this was something anticipated in 1980s and 90s. If the computer takes over your mind, what are you going to do? Say right now you're occupied with the mind, and because physical labor too, we move to the intellectual, right? And then that's where women also can become equal because they can do probably better to with the intellect, you know. So now the intellect cognition enhancement is done by the AI. What are you going to do? Are you going to get bored? Are you going to get really anxious? Or what are you going to deal with yourselves? You know, how can you live with it? That's a big challenge. That's where I am contributing quite a bit because I'm not somebody who hates technology. You know, I use them pretty well, and but at the same time, I can keep it like a tool. I don't worship it as a, solution of actually, our solution lies outside these tech instruments. The tech instruments and all those things, they can help, but then they can create some comforts for us, some convenience for us. But in terms of psychologically, how you feel, do you experience joy? Do you experience less of these emotions, anger, jealousy, and all that? Do you experience love and compassion, all those positive emotions? That's where I don't even want my patients to use these apps that much. Maybe they can start them out, but I want them to be independent on their own as much as possible. And that is possible because some people use Calm app to sleep and all that. I told them, okay, do that in the beginning, but later on learn these other things, that the tools we have from the ancient wisdom, and then maybe you can be off those apps. And they were like that. You know? So I myself, I don't have to use any of those apps to for my calming myself or washing myself when I'm with the people and all that. And also before sleep and after sleep, I do some things that, so which help me. Actually, I keep the devices away, you know, so and I can give them up at any time. So is this enough, Tracy, or you want more on that? Yeah, like class.
This is good.
Yeah,
Thank you. I have to get my notepad
yeah.
so I can write the name of the technology that you use.
Yeah, I use many number of them, but then also I was so enthusiastic. I bought so many things. Now I'm revising, and I can easily save $200 $300 if I just cancel what I'm not using. You know, so I'm going to do that because it was interesting to experiment them. But then I committed myself because all my friends they kind of show me all these good things in these rooms and other places, and some of them because I'm a doctor, I'm an informatician, I have been in the research of so many areas. That's important. But some of them are just to do my stuff. Some of them I'm not able to use them, so I'm going to cancel them. You know, even the people who are trying to work with me with whatever project they want to do, SEO, they want to do all that. They're telling me all the technology, but when it comes to it, their results are I'm not satisfied. They're very slow, or they may be playing game to collect more money from me, like they do from everybody, right? So that game is there. But I kind of, when I take a case or something, I don't look at all these things. I just dive deep into that, and I give my all. You know, probably it is naive to expect other people to do that, especially when that need for money only. So that's happening all over the world. You know, so we'll see. Christine, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Okay, very good. So, anything else, Tracy, you want to talk about, or Kristen, Dharni, anybody?
I like as a yogi how you're able to bring ancient wisdom and modern technology together.
Yeah, yeah. Because they also had technology, but the main thing is they were able to develop their inner faculties so well, so they don't have to use this. See, that's the difference. A scientist will go with the evidence outward, objective, right? We have to prove the experiments and then experiment it again. Then we start with a theory and then we try to experiment with the theory and then come to conclusion, okay, this is what is happening. And out of that kind of experiments, technology is born. So technology is a product of the science. That's okay, but that can improve only outward things. Inward things, I think, what kind of insight you have about yourself, all that is ancient. I look to them because they have exploded in that. So that's why those people don't have that much of mental health problems, you know. And actually, I have met yogis at an advanced age. They are very sharp, very, very bright, and they learn things and they open up new things. They have done wonderful things in the 70s, 80s, and all that, you know. So that mental power, I kind of discovered some of those things. That's my blessing, I think, you know, because what we understood as mind in the modern terms is very little compared to what they have understood about mind. So that kind of gives you what are the capacities beyond this chattering mind. But we are kind of, dumped in chattering. So that's why we don't know what is beyond chattering, what is beyond that sound that chattering makes, and what is that silence beyond that sound. Once you discover that and embody that, you discover so much more. It's like going to the moon, and then but then there's so much more in the deep sky, right? And then we are discovering all that. Like that, our own conscious inner has got so much of depth. They actually described this as way, anda pinda, brahmanda. That means anda means whatever the individual things are there, and brahmanda means this vast universe. The same structure out there in the universe, everything, that kind of complexity is there in each human being. So that's the kind of important to understand. Otherwise, we get caught up in the intellect-made web of matrix of thought. Nothing wrong with it, but then if you don't really end that on a daily basis, this is what I was telling you. I have my sister who is 82, and also I have my patients who are a lot older. What happens to them is they get these old memories completely coming up and they cannot stop them. They cannot enjoy the peace of mind. What happens is you are thinking unconsciously and then you are not ending the thought, then thought escapes into your subconscious and then it forms its own neuronal path. Literally, if you think again and again and again for decades, that thought goes and stays there. So, like my sister, for example, she was thinking all these things when she was 20s, 30s, 40s, right? And she allowed that to go and this is the neuroplasticity that we know now. If you do the same thought again and again, that will be formed. That's how we use positive thought about recovery, positive. So people who are driven. Hi, Crystal. Yeah, Crystal is one of the persons who is very active and she creates a lot. So the if you are doing that, that's really good. But some people get caught up in the unconscious thought, and then they build all these thoughts to the back, and then they become the problem, right? And then they become really coming back. She is not able to stop them with all this practice that she does because there is a physical neuronal path that happens. I used this to recover from my stroke because this was a major stroke. It was a complete paralysis of the left side, right? But I used the visualization and also being in the present, and really doing the exercises in micro yoga that I did. And so everybody thought I'm done because I have such a huge practice and everything. Maybe so many people are working with me. Everybody thought I'm done. But then I told them I'll be back in in 1 month, and I was. I went and saw the patients at the end of the month, so they all thought I'm a freak or something. It's not. It's a kind of understanding what is neuroplasticity, how we can use it in disease recovery or recovery of any of the organs, and then how can you really, especially mind and spinal cord, all these injuries, we can contribute a lot. Neuroplasticity is a big subject for us, right? Then uh, it can have a opposite effect. Suppose you are not creative and you don't have worth about yourself inside you, and you think like I'm useless, I cannot be useful for anybody, I cannot do anything. That negative thought can deepen you into depression. So understanding what is neuroplasticity, how the thoughts can reshape you within yourself is important. So I work with the burnout doctors, right? So they can't shake this feeling that wow is to be so much respected. We don't, people don't do that, and then we are not having the control on the patient care because the insurance companies, pharmacy companies, they are kind of taking over us and they are dictating, the administration dictating to us. That's really true. That's happening. So they get demoralized, but not by others, by their own thinking. So that is where I show them the thinking is a faculty, very good faculty, very powerful thoughts. Thoughts have tremendous power. They're like seeds. If you spoil, if you kind of put them in the ground, then it can grow into a big tree. Like that, thoughts can go. So understanding that and using the thought for the right purpose, and then getting out of it, emptying the mind, going into the solitude, silence. This is a problem not just for the doctors and accountants, bankers, and all that. It is a problem for the IT students, anybody, all of us. We are working with so much of information. All I'm saying is use the information productively, but protect your brain from excess information or negative information. That kind of thing. I wonder what the Crystal says about this. I've invited her. If she has time, she will come and talk to us. Hi, Crystal.
Hello, good evening, Dr. Rao and everybody. How
Yeah,
are you?
yeah, I'm very good. I was just wondering what you thought about what I said just now.
I'm sorry, Dr. Rao. I'm with the baby, putting baby.
Yeah, I was talking about, you see, there is a concept, Crystal. I think people like you who are very highly creative people, they have this what is called Shraddha. That means they develop certain kind of vision, certain kind of thoughts, and then they are motivated by that. They want to do things in life. That kind of people, even if have a health issue and all that, because they have a meaning of what they want to do, they overcome this much better. We see this quite often because I have a vast experience, like 40 some years. I have seen so many people that I diagnosed as cancer because they come to me first and I order the um, mammogram, I order the CT scan, or I order the colonoscopy. The reports come to me first and I have to tell them, right? Many people who have some purpose in their life, something that they want to do, that is what we call Shraddha. You see, the limitation of modern age is we kind of think only the technology. No, it is our inner drive, inner understanding of life, what we want to do, that vision that we have, right? That Shraddha, they call it in Sanskrit, it's a much more meaningful thing. It's not just a blind faith, but it's about your understanding of life, what you want to do with it all. And that purposeful thing that is there within us really drives us very much. So that's what I want to do. This understanding neuroplasticity, understanding this purpose of life, they are very important. Elderly people, especially after they retire from their job, they don't want to create anymore. But now with AI, you can do a lot more than you used to do before. I know people who have stroke who are limited in the chair. They are able to do a lot of things because the AI allows them to do the prompting. They can write books and all that, which is even if nobody reads, they can be very happy that they are creating these things. So that is also contributing AI. Tracy, we were talking about the AI, right? How it was and all that. So that's one bigger purpose I identified. Especially doctors, when I talk to the burnout, they have achieved a lot in their field, right? Many of them, but the circumstances that used to be where they were respected, they were given a lot of money, they were all that is slowly disappearing. Still they can make money, but then slowly disappearing. And then when they go to work, they don't feel like they are left alone, they were appreciated for what they do. Those things are not there, the intangibles. They feel this unnecessary anguish and all that, and also they react so much trivialities. They scream at the nurses, scream at the patients, and all that. And then they don't like that when they look back, but they can't help it, the reactivity. So I really help them with that reactivity. I will help them to respond to the task without having these emotional reactions. And I help them to work intensely without having the tension. I mean, there's a lot in that, but I'm just mentioning you those terms. Make sense, Tracy, for you?
Yes, Doc, it does.
Yeah, because you are an administrator, I know. That's why I'm asking. I'm telling you all these things. That's also a big problem for the administrations. So there is a sentence I often say they think is very impossible or something extraordinary. It's not really. Can you work intensely without the tension? Can you relax, really relax without laxity? Both these are big lifestyles that we need in this current age because many people have this underlying tension, chronic anxiety. Actually, I'm going to speak on chronic anxiety probably next week on Wednesday and Friday in Rocky's room. That's the 1 hour I give to them to go and talk about these topics. They were doing something with chronic anxiety with somebody. They were talking about allergies, nutrients. That's all fine. But then I talk about mind, sleep, relaxation, all that. In that chronic anxiety, this is also comes. How can you work very intensely without the tension? How can you relax without the laxity? I might have talked about this with you, Tracy, before. So Lois and Canon and Melody, Dr. Fred, any of you want to come up? I get caught up in my what I'm talking about, so I'm not neglecting you. But if you want to come up, please raise your hand. I'll bring it up. Crystal, I know. Christine, I know. Tracy, I know. Danny, I know. That's why I brought them up because I know them. Lois also I know, but if Lois wants to come up, I'll be happy to bring you up, Lois. And another 15 minutes, I'm going to go and open this Docs and Burnout House. That's where I'm going to discuss this main topic. We talked about it earlier, Tracy. The people really live who live for others. Vivekananda's statement, which I read this morning. And I read it before, but then I saw it somewhere today. Then I thought maybe we should use this quotation to do this unselfish work and what is in it and all that. So that's what we're going to do from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. That will be on the Zoom into the our Facebook group up there. What I put up there, the Conquer Burnout. Uh, that activity is going well in that room. I'm kind of coordinating everything around that group, and so that's the community build up. Crystal always talks to me about building community. I think this is a good way for me to build up the community. We just opened a couple of days ago. Already have maybe close to 20 people, 18 people, something like that. So that's good. But I'm putting this link, the top link, log into Facebook. That is the Conquer Burnout is the name of the Facebook group, and that's how I'm going to announce people the events I'm going to do. I'm going to, send things for them, and it's much easier to post everything there. Probably, so I'll be doing that. Okay. Any other questions or any comments? Anybody? Okay. I would suggest that you check out that chronic anxiety if you cannot attend, at least listen to the replay because it is not about talking spirituality, it is about how we can have quality of life in modern times while we are working with all this information overload, brain fog, not able to sleep well, all those things are really are problems I encounter daily with my friends. And fortunately, I don't have one of them. On the other hand, my time is released by AI, a few things that I use, and also my practices, everything are much better. I can talk to people also. I sleep very well, no matter what happens during the day. So all those things I'm sharing in that conquer burnout things. Many of my doctor friends listen, but they are have difficulty of applying them. That's where it's difficult for them. But then you cannot live in two worlds in your mind. You got to make the shift of understanding how do I really not make my mind go all over. Appropriate, yeah, you're doing a task appropriate to that all the thoughts, but it is not by force but by really understanding and being the witness, not allowing extraneous to the task thoughts come in. That means be in awareness, and thoughts happen in awareness. So thoughts are like a seen as objects in this practice I'm talking about. So once you have that, then it won't be automatic, it won't be unnecessary coming up. You will have more like a flow state. Whenever you are working, you can. But one of the problems that is our modern life encourages multitasking. Don't do that. Raki, I taught her how to pay attention to one thing, and now she's telling me several times. I was multitasking before, but now Dr. Rao told me just to pay one task. I got more accomplished with that, and then I have more energy. She said, I believe that because she does so much on the Instagram, so much on her houses and all that, right? So she's like a example of many of us. They work a lot more probably because of the way they reach out so many people. So all that is depleting our mental energy. Don't do that, then you will be tired by the end of the day. So what you want is focus on whatever you are doing, be in flow state. In flow state essentially you don't have the expenditure of the so much energy on unnecessary things. So you like the work, you are knowing all the things about the work, all the steps you have to do, but all of them you do in a calm, quiet, and happy state. That is the flow state, which is very important. Of course, yoga's real aim is to be in that state all the time, and then you can accomplish a lot. When you do something, it will have the quality, and then when you are done, you dump everything. Yeah. Is it too much, Tracy, or is something really understandable? Everybody keeps quiet, then I say, "Oh, maybe I speak or the
No,
one."
it's very straightforward, Doc. It's straight to the point and quite understandable.
Yeah.
At least for me. I mean, I can't speak on behalf of everyone.
Yeah, it's a modern life I'm talking about because I live modern life, but I use the ancient wisdom as hacks for a solution to our problems. If I go to the patient, a lot of information, right? Not only that, I have this another mental. I'm a informatician, right? So CIO and CMIO, all those titles were there in my background. So I have to deal with big data. I have to advise hospital core team how to use the data. That's all medical, and also how we kind of derive some lessons from that. And then this is called meta-analysis. We do. You take the big data, and then you gather all the diabetics of last 20 years, and then AI is doing much faster. Just feed it, and then reports come in. Then from the meta-analysis, we kind of determine what is working and what is not working. What is working, the therapies, the regimens, the variety of things that we adapt them, and we kind of study more and improvise. That's much easier with this big data crunch that we have, right? But we have to make sure that's a good data, not bad data that is fed in. That's where the data cleansing, understanding of what is important data, all those things come on our shoulder. And also, I have to make sure that is tied with the patient outcomes, and also are tied with our hospital privacy, security, and also our public relations products come out of that. Like you build up these things, reports, and then tell them, okay, this is what we should advertise. That kind of. So it's kind of a high level vision oriented job. It's not like a just I don't do anything with the computers, but I kind of put together after the reports come. You know, but I'm also interested in computers. That helps a lot. So anyway, thank you all for coming and listening to me, and hopefully I will see you again. But I'm going to go and open that Docs and Burnout, where I'm going to talk about unselfish work, how it is so good for us and also good for others. Not that you have to sacrifice everything, but then cultivating randomly, even random kindness, right? All those things are very important. They release endorphins, they release happy hormones. So if you can do that once in a while, that's a part of my burnout coaching that I teach. So on a daily basis, you have opportunities to do that. I don't want you to miss that. You know, people once they are oriented towards that, they really like it being a human being. So that's the one we are trying to talk about. That will be on the Zoom also. Okay, I kind of put that link in my group, Facebook group, but I'll also put it on the in the clubhouse on the top there. Okay. All right. I will see you there if you have the patience to come there. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. Okay. Thanks, Crystal. Thanks, Christine and Tracy and Lois for staying with me. Yeah. Okay. I will close the room in a few seconds. Okay.